I also just want to note, in the letter that he sent, he said he is going to focus the rest of his term on making sure that he is finishing out the rest of the first term as well as he can, and really focusing on really just doing the duties of the presidency. What he didn't say there.
Do the right thing, Brandon. Cut all aid. Put BDS on the map, Brandon. Do it. Netanyahu f***ed you over. He f***ed you over. You bear hugged him. He was a fake friend. Take that phone call when he comes in to the American Congress. His arrest warrant should be out by then. Coordinate with the ICC, get that arrest warrant application to go through, and then arrest his ass. I swear to God, dude, I will door knock for Kamala Harris. I will go around the nation. I will tell every single person to vote for Kamala Harris if this happens. It's not going to happen, but if it did, that would be pretty cool.
Making the right decision. There is also a lot of anger, a lot of bad blood, a lot of hard feelings about the way all of this was handled by various Democrats in the party. I was on the phone with campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond, and he unleashed some really harsh words on the donors that in recent days had refused to give to President Biden. And he said that what the donors had done was create a self-fulfilling prophecy, because essentially when the money dries up, there is no way that you can win. And he was saying, look, the donors basically ensured that this was a no-win situation for the president. He said the donors now better pony up, and we are actually seeing the first signs of donors actually turning around and saying, yeah, now that he has decided to step down, we are going to continue supporting this ticket. Wolf.
Dramatic developments indeed, and historic developments we're watching very, very closely right now. MJ Lee at the White House, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to our panel shortly. I want to go to Caitlin Collins, who's also covering all of this for us. Caitlin, these are dramatic developments, and it's come as a surprise to a lot of us after the President of the United States for days and days kept saying he's in it to win it. He's not going anywhere. He's staying in the race. Then all of a sudden, he posts this letter to the American public saying he's no longer.
It wasn't all of a sudden. Everyone knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, and I'm a fucking dumbass, okay? I don't have insider sources or anything. Well, maybe a little bit, maybe some. But come on. Everybody knew it was happening.
Improved significantly. So that could also play a factor in how we are learning this dramatic breaking news from the president himself in a letter that was posted online announcing he is not going to seek the election and the Democratic nomination for this November to challenge Donald Trump for the presidency. Jamal Simmons is here with us. He is CNN political commentator, but also, and more importantly in this moment, the former communications director for Vice President Harris. And Jamal, I want to talk to you about the Harris dynamic of this, because Senator Mark Warner of Virginia has just lined up behind her. We're watching closely to see what Democrats are saying about this. But first, you worked inside the Biden White House. What's your reaction to this news from the president?
It's an incredible amount of, we kind of thought
the DNC chair blocked me.
Gosh,
oh,
it's
damn.
still so sad, right? I mean, Joe Biden is this American hero. He's such a patriot.
It's not sad.
Saved us from Donald Trump.
No one is sad.
You're a Democrat.
Literally not a single person is sad. Hunter Biden is sad. His ass ain't getting a pardon. Oh, no. Oh, his ass is going to federal prison, big dog, okay? That's the one guy who's sad right now, and he can suck me. I was a big Hunter Biden advocate for the longest time until I saw his fail son ass in the fucking White House attending meetings with the fucking staffers, sitting side by side with Joe Biden, being like, nope, please keep running, Pop. Please keep running, Papa.
But with Biden's statement about 20 minutes after he posted this letter saying that he is going to endorse Vice President Harris as the Democratic nominee, we're watching these statements. We're seeing people like Senator Mark Warner, progressive House member Jamal Bowman getting behind her as the Democratic nominee. Is that what you expect to see?
If Republicans try to run gambit of being like, we're going to sue to make sure that like Kamala is not on the ballot before the convention even happens, okay, the entire nation will collapse on them. Do you understand me? That was one of the many reasons why I said there's no fucking way that they're going to like try and hold this up in the court system. They can try because they're panicking right now. That is the worst possible thing that they can do. Why is that the worst possible thing they can do? Because that feeds into they want to end democracy. They have no respect for democracy narrative. A smart staffer, and I know many of you motherfuckers are watching me right now. If you are in those fucking rooms, that's the angle. Oh, really? The convention didn't happen, and that's how scared they are that they can't run a normal race, so they're going to try and do like the exact same thing that they did last time, like with January 6th when they tried to do false electors, when they wanted to like do some weird court process to undermine the will of the people. Really? How about you fight on November 5th? How about you fight in November? Why are you trying to fight in the fucking court process? It's it's the easiest messaging dub of all time. Mike Johnson called it illegal. These fucking pieces of shit in the Republican Party. They have the audacity. They're like, oh, sorry, you can't do that. Fuck you mean you can't do that? There's no procedure that is actually was put into motion. Okay, you can cry until you have no more tears left. Oh, 14 million primary voters who cast their ballots for you. Am I right? You're fucking them over. Suck my dude. Your account's called End Wokeness. Keep crying, okay? Oh, my Lord. Yeah, they're chirping. They're chirping so hard because they know that Biden was a weak candidate. And they know that anyone that's like even remotely competent is actually going to be a stronger candidate than the fucking carcass. There's enough movement and enough momentum in the Democratic Party. They got juice right now. They got motion, okay? They do. I need you to understand something. They can still fuck it up. And the Democratic Party always fucks it up, okay? So these upcoming months are very important, okay? They're very important. Kamala Harris has to basically undo a lot of the last minute motions from the Biden administration without actually creating a big enough rift. It's not going to be from Kamala's side. It obviously is going to happen with competent administrators around her. And I really do hope that they have that. CNN, avalanche of donations pouring into Harris campaign. President Joe Biden is a patriotic American. Dude, I verbatim told you. I could have written these fucking quotes. Joe Biden is a patriotic American who has always put our country first. His legacy, vision, values, and leadership make him one of the most consequential presidents in American history. With love and gratitude to President Biden for always believing in the promise of America and giving people the opportunity to reach their fulfillment. God blessed America with Joe Biden's greatness and goodness. I told you, he is a wonderful man. We're going to preserve his legacy. I told you verbatim that's what they're going to say, and that's what they're saying. Of course, that's what they're saying. Obviously, this community, well, right now we have 117,000 people in here, okay? So this community is a little bit different. Well, right now there's probably a lot of normies in here as well. Having said that, however, by and large, this community is a little bit different than other communities. We pay a lot of attention to politics. We're kind of losers that way, right? And not just when like shit starts popping off. What do I mean by this? Why am I saying this? Because a lot of normies that see this shift will actually register to vote. I believe it, okay? We're brain broken. We already have made up our minds a long time ago. However, a lot of normies, a lot of people on TikTok, a lot of people that are in demographics that literally were just like, I'm not too invested in this race. It's a rerun. My life is not better. We'll actually start paying attention. And that's why it's very important. It's very important that Kamala Harris, strong on her messaging, sticks to issues and actually says like, look, we are continuing this progressive agenda. It's bold. We are not letting the Republicans ruin democracy. We're not letting Donald Trump become a dictator on day one. None of that. We're also restoring reproductive rights for everyone in this country. We're going to do that. We're going to fight tooth and nail. Okay. We're going to claw back those civil liberties that the Republican Party tried to take away from you. Joe Biden said, my fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Verbatim what I told you he was going to say. My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. And it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year, Jack. Cut the malarkey, Democrats. It's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. Let's do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Watch me. I'm going to finish the job. I'm going to finish the job, Jack. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In a phone call with CNN minutes after Biden announced his exit from the 2024 race, former President Trump responded, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He goes down as the single worst president by far in the history of our country. Oh, dude. Oh, he is coping. He's worried. He's panicked. He's fucking panicking, dude. Come on, dog. He's panicking hard. You know, his entire fucking campaigning strategy is just dust now, okay? They had it. They were like, he's the perfect person to run against. If there's one Democrat we could easily fucking beat, is Joe Biden. And now they got to cast aside all those campaign ads. They got to toss them. They have to toss them. They have to restart. Woo! Everything that the RNC did, even though they tried to message it, why is my family calling me in this moment right now? That's crazy. Even though everything that they did, they tried to on the last second swap to like a unity message. They tried to make it seem like, they weren't attacking Joe Biden. Donald Trump mentioned Joe Biden by name like once or twice, and just kept saying this administration. All of that is still hollow. It's still gone. It's Jover for them. Woo! Yeah, I love Veep. I might do a rerun. I might watch Veep again from the start because this is a very Veep-ass election cycle. Straight up. They fell in line 20 minutes ago. I'm 100% Kamala Harris. You should be too. Retweet and follow to make sure all Americans are ready to defeat Donald Trump. Of course they are. Of course they are. They immediately started a new account called Kamala Harris's Wins. Wow. Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement, which is a cell phone, by the way. That is, you're owning yourself. You're saying that a cadaver, like, was on a stretcher the entire time and stretched his way into the presidency against you, the powerful being that you are, supposedly. Okay? Just a reminder for that. Also, what happened to unity, sir? Where's the unity? All those around him, including his doctor and the media, knew that he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. Look what he's done to our country with millions of people coming across the border, totally unchecked and unvetted, many from prisons, mental institutions, and record numbers of terrorists. I suspect if there is any narrative damage that is the most significant to the re-election campaign, to the election campaign now of Kamala Harris, it was done by Joe Biden at the last minute when he tried to pull this fucking right-wing Donald Trump's own border policy agenda. It's very, very important for the Democrats to just move away from that as quickly and as expediently as possible. Jamie Harrison, DNC statement. The American people owe Biden an enormous debt of gratitude for the unparalleled okay, shut up, Jamie, you bitch. Kamala Harris pulls a Keir Starmer. All of a sudden, the specter of communism is not only haunting Europe, but also haunting America. Oh my Lord, dude. I mean, not going to happen, obviously, even though her dad is a Marxist professor at Stanford. But you know, they're not exactly on good terms. I'm just saying, dude. So a couple angles of attack from Republicans immediately. Okay. One, they're going to say if Biden, obviously Trump already mentioned this. I've talked about this in the buildup to Biden dropping out. Couple angles of attack are going to be if he can't actually run for president, how the fuck is he supposed to be president, right? To them, the counter is pretty easy. You just say, look, I think Americans deserve like a younger, more vibrant, more dynamic person, and I did my job. I've been in office for 50 plus years, you know. I've been in office for so long that I think it's like the right thing to do. I think I wanted to give the Americans an opportunity to put a fresh face on this like bold progressive agenda. And I feel like there's an effective counter there for that. But that's one thing that they're going to do. They're obviously also going to try and sue at every state to be like, no, you have to put Joe Biden on the ticket, even though he's literally not even the fucking candidate yet. The convention hasn't happened yet. Another avenue of attack is obviously that like Kamala Harris was the vice president and she knew that Biden's mental faculties were not in order, which is why I thought that was another angle of attack, an avenue of attack that is like pretty solid, which is why I thought that the Democrats could not be so open and so bold about Joe Biden's mental faculties diminishing, which is why him staying in the race post that debate or even doing that debate was really, really stupid. But if that debate had not happened, ladies and gentlemen, today I will say this. I want to thank all of the fucking idiots in Biden's orbit, in Biden's close circle, that thought that that debate that happened this early was a good idea, that Biden will be able to demonstrate competence in that debate. Because if it wasn't for them, we would be fucking slow rolling this demented old man into the convention, and I would be still screaming for the fucking rooftops that he's going to get cumstered by Donald Trump because he's going to keep having those moments. Campaign is going to keep hitting those moments over and over again. The tweet that changed it all. Yep. Thank God. Thank the fucking Lord, dude. Holy moly. Is there going to be a Harris-Trump debate? There has to be. Are you kidding me? If Trump doesn't do a debate against Kamala Harris, remember, Kamala Harris actually performed fairly well in the debates, even though she obviously was deeply unpopular in the stacked Democratic primary. But Kamala Harris did perform fairly well in the debate. She had a couple pop-off moments. She is a prosecutor at the end of the day. She will, I think, cook Donald Trump. She will be able to cook Donald Trump. They just got to get her off those downers and put her on some uppers. They literally got to swap out. She needs to not be barred out ever again. And then from this moment on, you know, put her in a fucking vat. No more Xanax for Mamala. Only uppers from this point on. This swap out, I hope, will activate a lot of those in the margins, a lot of young voters, Hispanic voters in general, that have not been paying attention in key states. And Kamala Harris's genuine separation from Joe Biden on the issue of Palestine will actually play a significant role here. Kamala Harris, months ahead of Biden, kept leaking to Politico and other outlets that she was like for a ceasefire. That to me absolutely shows decent political instinct, regardless of the fact that she's been really awful in the past 4 years with respect to how she's like basically hemorrhaged her staff and how, you know, she's played the role of like, you know, a person doing side missions and kind of goofy overall.